listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Snooki and Jwoww After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and give you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Snooki and Jwoww After Show.
Woohoo! Bing is for doing, and we're doing another episode. And our last episode, you guys, of the Snooki and Jwoww After Show. We're at season 2, episode 12. All's well that ends well. And who knows? This might be the actual last Snooki and Jwoww episode ever.
This might be it.
We don't know if this is going to be picked up for another season. And I am your host, Erika Vieira, and I am joined by my wonderful, lovely co-host here at this full house tonight.
Hey, I'm Stef Z. Hello.
Hello, I'm Kelli Taylor.
Hey guys, I'm Annika Michelle.
So yeah, last episode, and there's a lot to talk about. So let's get right to it. So, all right, the top of the episode.
Throw it down,
well, actually, before we do that, we're gonna have a little bit of a toast right now. We got some champagne in honor of the last Snooki and Jwoww episode, and could possibly be the last Snooki and Jwoww episode ever. So let's do a cheers to a wonderful season, a wonderful time together, and also to our listeners who have stuck by us this entire season.
Thank you guys. If you guys are at home, toss one back if you're of age.
Yeah. Yay! Yeah, you must be 21 or older to get through this alcohol.
Bubbly.
Thank you, Kelli, for bringing this into the studio tonight. All right, so I think we did need a little bit of a drink before we talk about the Snooki and Jionni situation. So the top of the episode starts with our lovely couple kind of wrapping up their fight from last week. So we definitely, I know we all had things to say about the way this was resolved. So you guys want to kind of get started with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was interesting, the conversation that Snooki and Jwoww had right away when she was in the car, and Jwoww was kind of still making it just that Jionni was saying wrong things to her. Like, I mean, I get that he probably got very angry and said things that he shouldn't have said, but it still wasn't the whole owning it, you know? Like, they still didn't really own it.
And that was not the beginning of the argument. It's like they fast forwarded to the middle end of the argument and made that the topic of discussion when it was really about Snooki in the club doing things that she should not have been doing as a mother.
Yeah, it was kind of more like, get a grip, Snooki, and she was like, that's who I am, and I don't know.
And it's just so typical Snooki to basically take the situation and, like you guys said, they completely turn it around. And you know, we see Jionni telling Snooki, and this is exactly what we said, like we were talking about this last week, like Jionni, like he says, in the back of my mind, every time you go out, my biggest fear is that you're going to black out and you're going to do something stupid that's ultimately going to hurt me. And you did it again. Yeah, Once again, you did exactly what I was afraid you were going to do. And that's something that I don't blame Jionni for being really upset about.
No, he definitely had a right to be really upset because she wasn't just drunk. Like, she was drunk and falling all over the place, making out with girls. No, she was way, way, way out of line.
Right.
And, like, the thing is, too, is, like, after Jionni, like, tells her everything, and I'm sure he's been telling her this whole time, but, like, Snooki really doesn't, like, she doesn't really sit down and kind of, like, absorb what he's saying and really seriously apologize for it. She doesn't say, like, she'll say, oh, I know I shouldn't have, but you don't get the sense that she's really deeply, deeply sorry.
Or she's not going to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's always kind of like a but Like, it's like, I'm
It's
really
always
sorry,
about-
but this is who I am. I'm really sorry, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad mom. I'm really, like, and I totally agree with her in the sense, though, that I get that when they fight, it shouldn't be about the child. You know what I mean?
Of
Like,
course.
I do agree with that. But, you know, it was not just like, I was out of line. I'm really sorry I hurt your feelings.
And Jionni even made a good point. He said that when people ask me, like, you've been through so much with her, like Jersey Shore was one time, you know, Italy was one-time incident. Here's another one-time incident. You're saying it happens one time. People ask me why I'm still with you after all this craziness. I look like an idiot, and he has the point. He does. I mean, you know, we know what's going on now, but he does. Like, to the other person's like, why are you sticking with this girl who's doing so much to constantly hurt you?
And like, and like, we do think that like she could do this again. That's his main issue. Is like, I'm always afraid that like when I let you go and you're out doing something, like you're gonna do this again. And she said something. She said, just because I go out to a club, get drunk, and make out with 2 girls doesn't make me a bad mom. But yes, that there's not a cause and effect here in respect. But he's saying, but you are not thinking about us. You're not thinking about me. You're not thinking of the baby. You are not thinking about us at all. And in essence, that doesn't make you a bad mom, but it does make you bad something. I don't know what it is.
She's not behaving as though she's
a
was
good,
a mom. I think that's more of what he was trying to say. But I don't know. I know Snooki will do it again.
Yeah.
Because
I think
she said it. She said, this is who I am. This is who you got with. You knew what you signed up for, all of that. I mean, she definitely does not own it when she talks to him because it's very defensive and she's deflecting everything. But when she talked to Jenni, especially the very first time, she did seem like she was sorry.
She did.
So I think she's sorry, but she doesn't want to admit to Jionni that she's sorry. She wants him to get the point of, this is me.
Right. And I agree with almost everything that he said. What the thing that stuck out to me that he said that I felt a little bit weird in their communication was when he was like, I allow you.
That got to me too.
It got to me because it shouldn't, like, in my opinion, whatever that's worth, like, I don't think that that's the way it should be in a relationship. It shouldn't be like, you're allowed to
go do this.
It should be like, okay, you want to do this and I want to do this, and then we talk about it and there's just no disrespect going around. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't have to get to that point where he's like, well, I'm allowing you to go out, so don't, you know,
mess up.
Don't mess up with that. Yeah, and yeah, I agree. That was kind of a weird statement coming from him. But the other thing too is, like, you know, she goes and she kind of takes some time apart and she like writes down what she's feeling, and she comes back and she says, you know, I want to talk to you about these things. But it was interesting. Like, she gave her points, and like you mentioned stuff like, okay, don't bring Lorenzo into this. You know, just because I do that, I want you like not to love me. So she had her little points and all that. But I was expecting her at the end of it to say, but at the same time, I'm so sorry. I will never do this again. I never, like, she didn't. No. It was all focusing on what he did wrong. To her. And this is what happens in so many, and this is getting a little bit off topic, but it's in so many situations, the focus is on the person who's reacting to the bad behavior as opposed to the bad behavior. And this is the case here. Jionni said this. He reacted. He's like, I reacted. I was upset. We don't know what he texted. He probably texted some mean things or whatever, but he's reacting to very bad behavior. And she is now almost in a way focusing on that, and like you said, Kelli, deflecting away from her behavior and what she actually did. So that, I didn't feel like resolved, or like, I felt unsettled after that conversation. I just didn't feel good with the relationship or happy about it, or that things were really resolved. I just felt like Snooki, once again, was turning things around, making it about her, and, you know, I didn't feel good about it.
I don't think she felt resolved either, because even when she was going to see Jenni, she was like, what do I tell her? And Roger's like, be honest, Gionni's like, be honest, tell her whatever you want. And then she's like, well, I don't feel like we're 100%, but we're okay, we're getting there. Like, she didn't even feel...
Yeah. I feel like, and just to fast forward a little bit to Roger and Jenni, both the guys just took one for the team in the argument, because they saw that they were not getting anywhere with the two of them, because it was like talking to a brick wall. This is what you did wrong, and the wall is not acknowledging it, not saying anything to it. So they just said, you know what, fine, we're good. And then they tried to go on about their business. So I definitely don't think it was resolved at all.
No. And let's talk about.
Yeah, I think the same fight will happen again.
I think so too.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
definitely.
and like Jwoww's gonna miss plans and
Yeah.
hurt his feelings, and it's legit. Like if he only has the one day off, like he said, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
So let's talk a little bit about that. So okay,
Yeah.
we moved on from the Snooki and Jionni. Now we're gonna get into the Roger and Jenni fight. So yeah, what do you guys think about that?
yeah, I mean, I just thought like if he. There was a million different ways it could have been handled, and it would have been better. And it would have even been better if they didn't go do the plans with a better communication. You know, and I think that really, like, as much as he's pissed that it was his only day off to hang out with her, and like that's his feelings. Like, you know, he might be thinking it's not important for her to hang out with him when it's more important to him, even though he comes off a little bit tougher. Like if she would have been like, "I'm really sorry, let's lay in bed, watch a movie,"
Yeah.
but it was her attitude about the
Yep.
whole thing was just like, you know, leave me alone, like I'm just not feeling good, and don't be mean to me, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it was a lot of attitude. It wasn't the actual acts of behavior that she did, it was the way she did it.
The way she did it, yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of acted like a child in that
Totally.
situation. She was not the 27-year-old Jwoww that we know. It was like your little sister that you're having this conversation with, and she's like, "No, I'm mad," and that's it. So, I mean, like you said, the conversation will come up again because it was not resolved, and it'll happen the same exact way. You know, he'll take off for days, and
And I think though this is an improvement to where they were before, and I think this is like their new way of kind of fighting, is taking that space. Because Roger probably knows he tends to be a little bit of a hothead. Like he'll sit
Yeah.
and do things that might get him in trouble. And same thing like with same thing with Snooki and Jionni. The focus ends up on Roger's reaction as opposed to the behavior of what Jenni's doing. So I think this is like their way of like, they probably talked about it before. Like, okay, next time we fight or when we fight, this is how we have to do things. Like you separate, you go or whatever. And it looks like in some ways that helps them a little bit. It works out because Roger has time to calm down a little bit, and Jenni actually has time to think about it because Jenni did say, I felt like jackass. Like Jenni admitted that she did something wrong. This was like prior to her giving him a call to have him come home. But like she admitted, like I feel stupid. I feel like a jackass. I felt like I did something wrong. So at least they're going in the right direction of how they're handling
I agree
their
with
fights.
that. I agree with when you are, especially in a heated situation, separating for a few hours. It seems like he was gone for days.
Yeah,
Now
that's a little long.
Yeah, that I don't know if I would buy.
Yeah.
You,
Right.
one, leaving for days, and two, not telling me where you went.
And taking the
So,
dog too.
I don't
Yeah.
care if you take the
No, I'm
dog,
saying,
but
like,
I mean,
she
don't
didn't tell
go
her.
and then don't call me and tell me at the end of the night, "Hey, I'm staying at my mom's."
Right.
Like I don't know anything about that. That to me was
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah,
But
I
I,
agree.
think Snooki and Jionni actually probably could have had a better conversation had they did the separation thing. Maybe Jionni would not have said everything he said via text, you know, if she
They don't
told
have
him
that
and
luxury
they kind of
though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little
They
bit
have
harder
when you have a child. Yeah.
But see, that's where like an hour comes into play, not like days. You know, you just go sit out in the car if you need some space.
Right.
Think about it and then come back and talk about it.
And that's where also, I mean, this is going kind of way deep into evaluating the relationship, but that's where also like being married comes into play too and engaged. Because like Snooki, I almost feel like is in fear that Jionni is going to leave her because, you know, that was her fear ultimately with this fight. Like that you don't love me, and that, you know, you don't want to be with me and the baby. And she even said this when I think when they were in bed together, I'm so glad we have our little family back. So like there's a difference of fighting when you're married and you've got that commitment versus like them where I think she has a little bit of a fear that like, oh my God, you're gonna leave me. I can't believe you said those things. I'm still a good mother, right? You still love me, right? So it seems like she's grasping for that. Maybe if she had that commitment from him, it might be a different kind of a fight.
I think Snooki, I think she's just going into the whole thing wrong, and I won't spend a lot of time on it, but she's done the same thing at the Jersey Shore house and in Italy.
Yeah.
Whenever he's mad, it's you don't love me. That's not the way arguments work.
Right. Like, I wonder
know?
what would happen if she would have been like, I'm really sorry. I did not ever want to lose your
Exactly.
trust. I understand this hurts your feelings, and I'm going to get better about it. Like, if she would have just said that,
Own
it's
it.
kind of like, it's kind
Yeah.
of like when you go into a situation and, like, no one knows what's going on, and you're like, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Just, like all the weapons in the room and people
Just
wearing it
drop.
just drop. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's nothing else. It's my fault. Like, if she would have just done that and acknowledged him, maybe he would have saw then that it is possible the outcome will be different, but it's still the same.
I know.
I'm sorry, but you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the same fight, just different topics.
It is.
And the
every
thing
time.
too that you mentioned earlier with Jenni and Roger, like I do agree with you in that their fights are getting more productive, I guess is a way to say it. But he did mention that that was his fear, that like we shouldn't be fighting like this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that was why it wasn't just a few hours, it was a few days, because he was like, we're engaged. Like, we shouldn't be bickering and fighting where I have to leave, you know what I mean, at this stage in the game. Which is, you know, I mean.
And he even said, he's like, you know, did I propose too
Right.
soon? And she like was like, oh, I cannot believe you just said
cut
that.
him off.
That's
Yeah,
the
totally cut
one
him
thing
off.
that she heard in that whole
Yeah,
thing
the
that
whole-
he said.
yep.
The whole thing he said, he's going on, you know, everything. That's the one thing she grasped on. She's like, oh, it's like, oh my God, girl, like, listen, like, just, he was talking to you for a few minutes, and that's the one thing you focused in on, because that's where your brain is, and you're all focused on, you know.
Because she's a kid. And I'm
Yeah.
happy Roger just said, done. He didn't even feed into it. He just said, okay, done.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. I'm taking one for the team in this one. You're right. I'm wrong. Goodbye.
And that's where you really see their age difference and their maturity level. Because like Roger, it's kind of, I think he knows who he's dealing with Jenni, and he loves her faults and all, and he knows like he's just like, fine, I'm over it, whatever. Like I'm not gonna stay here. Like you said, Kelly, like it's like talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I love, this is who I'm gonna be with. She's a little bit mature. I'm just gonna deal with it. That's
Yeah.
kind of like the sense I got from the end of that fight.
Me too.
You know?
Exactly.
So, whereas like with Jionni and Snooki, they're on the same age level. They're on the same, but Gianni's a lot more mature than Snooki in a lot of ways.
I think
So-
she still wants to be the party girl.
She does.
wants to be that. She wants him to say okay to that.
And she still wants to be the
She
mom.
still wants to be the mom and the fiance.
She wants it all.
her cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
That's exactly
all
what
on
it
her
is.
terms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like she doesn't want the cake and then to like put it in the fridge and eat the piece later. She still gets the cake and eat it too. She's like, no, I want it now.
And she wants the cake. She wants to be the first piece of the cake. And she
Right.
wants a cake with that exact amount of frosting.
She
Exactly.
just freeze a couple slices. Fine.
With that piece of the Reese's peanut butter cup. She wants,
Yeah.
you know, that one. But, all right. So the fights kind of got wrapped up. In our opinion, as a group, we don't feel they were really resolved, but the show wrapped them up. And now we kind of get into the party, where Snooki's throwing this surprise party for Jenni. And then we come to find out it's more about a Jersey Shore reunion and less so about a party. But that was actually kind of cool. So, so one of the things I just wanted to talk a little bit about was in seeing Jenni get kind of dressed up for this party, she whips out of her ginormous closet a dress that looked like she got from freaking like Hot Topic.
Or like Adam's Family. Like he even said it was Alva. Mandy's.
Mandy's. Mandy's. What's
To the
song?
rescue.
To the rescue.
You could live in that closet though.
I know.
That closet was huge.
And that's what she picks. That's what she has.
And we even talked about how many jeans she has, like colors, like light, dark, medium, super dark, skinny, like, and she just folded them up. I'm like, I've never once seen you in a pair of jeans.
I wonder if she just gets gifted them all though.
That
Yeah.
has to be
Like,
it.
but then, like, why don't you just give it away?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what I would like to see is her closet of sweatpants and the vast variety and colors and lengths and,
the pinks
options
and the-
of sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like you said, pink from Victoria's
Yeah,
Secret.
it's a
That's
pink
what
from
the
Victoria's
whole
Secret.
line is.
That's all it is. That's all she's got. So she picks out this Elvira dress, and even Roger's like, it's cute, but it looks like Elvira, and she still wears it.
It definitely looked
It
like
was
a Halloween
awful.
costume.
It was awful. I'm sorry,
Horrible.
Jenni, but that was awful. That was not the outfit I would have suggested for you to wear in your possibly last show
And-
on MTV.
And she thought she was going to a baby shower or welcome baby. That's
Yeah,
not
who
what you wear
wears
to
that
a
to a
welcome
baby?
baby. That is not what you wear to a welcome baby. I mean, it would be appropriate. I mean, not appropriate, but she's not breastfeeding. Like, you don't need to have it out. Like, you don't have to have it ready to go. It's fine. Like,
Not breastfeed. I don't even think she could though. There's like a lattice in there. It'd be
Yeah.
like- it would be quite complicated to try and breastfeed.
Yeah, she could have
But-
pulled out a pair of jeans that we've never
Right.
seen her wear.
Yeah.
Nice little top.
But it was kind of funny too because she asked his opinion and then she disregarded
I
it.
know.
Exactly.
She was like, "Girl, no."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, it's all I have to wear." Then why'd you ask?
And really, that's all you have to wear.
We
You
saw
have
your
a
closet.
You have a huge closet. Like really? No, it's not all you have to wear. I don't even know why why did you even ask the poor guy's opinion?
Yeah.
I would like to see that closet. I mean, we get a short little pan, but we never really get to see fully what's in that closet. I need to see because
I wonder if it exists anymore, because wasn't it in Roger's house that got like destroyed?
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe that's her. Oh no, timing is backwards.
All right.
I was gonna say maybe that's why she doesn't wear any good clothes.
Okay, so then Jenni and Roger go to the fake out baby shower thing, and then we start to see all the old Jersey Shore guys trickling in, which is really cool to see. We saw Sammy and Ronnie and Dina and Paulie was there, and Vinny. Everyone was there except for Mike, and it was fun. It was nice to see them all. What did you guys think of that?
I thought it was funny when they walked in. Paulie was like, "Don't do it."
I know.
yeah, I laughed at that too.
It was really funny.
I thought it was really funny when they're like, okay, well, Ronnie and Sam are nice. And he's like, I guess it's time now. And he gets up and he like reaches in his pocket like he's going to propose. And of course he doesn't. He's like, I got
I
you.
know.
And everyone's like, what?
I love the fake out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what?
I can't believe they're still together.
They've
I
been
can.
through it.
I can believe
Yeah.
it. I think, you can't believe it? I think.
I mean, I can, but like at this, like, do you remember all the fights?
And that's why at this point that like they're still together. They were like still together at the end of the season. Like when does that happen in reality shows? Like like it just doesn't. And I think for them by the end of when Jersey Shore is over, I think if they're still together, they're in it for like the long haul.
Yeah.
And
I
they
just
worked
felt that.
through it.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they started out as a very, very dysfunctional couple. I mean, yelling, screaming, throwing
dysfunctional.
things, fighting. It was horrible. But we saw them progress. I mean, they even got to the let's separate thing. When we get upset, we'll come back and we talk about it. So I think I mean, from what we saw, I think they actually have worked on their relationship as two mature adults. I think it might work.
I do too.
I hope it does. Ronnie's a good guy.
Yeah.
I think it'll work. I hope it does too. And I like that they went through and they kind of gave some really sweet. They said some really sweet things to Roger and Jenni.
Yeah.
And
It was
nice
really
to
cute.
see them all like really getting along. And I have to say about this group, like Jersey Shore and all of them in general, like other than Mike, who
wasn't
like,
invited.
Well, was he not invited or did he just not come?
I never saw her make a phone call to him, but she
No,
called
no.
everyone else.
Right, and I feel like they were all like the whole crew's here, the whole crew's. Maybe he was in rehab. Isn't he in rehab?
No, he was out. He's out of rehab.
Yeah.
But supposedly though he's still using it. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so
Gossip.
just with this crew, I would have to say like I would love to be in there and part of that group and like part of the family. They really, you really genuinely see like a level of respect and love amongst these people. You can tell they've been through a lot together, and they have a strong bond. They might not hang out with each other every day, but they share something so unique and so cool that you could just see it. Just by their interactions with one another. And some of the nice things that they said to, you know, the newcomers, to Roger, to Jionni.
Yeah. It is very
Lorenzo.
unique, I think, that
I
they
think
all,
so.
like, years later still hang out and talk, and a phone call and they show up. And but
I think it was very cliquey too, so that's kind of why they were able to stay close.
Yeah.
You know, like Paulie and Vinny clicked, and then all four of the girls clicked.
Well, they didn't always. That's
Not
the thing.
always,
they
but I mean
went through
towards
a
the
lot.
end, so now it kind of evolved into something a little bit bigger.
I have to kind of give it up to Jionni because it must be awkward to see guys that your girl hooked up with,
I was thinking
and not
about that,
one,
too.
but like 2, 3, multiple times. And
the
like now
same
they're
room.
coming to like, yeah, hey Lorenzo, you're getting bigger, and it's like, oh, this is the guy that just like slept with my girl or whatever, you know. But I mean, he was cool. He doesn't, you know, think. I don't know if he thinks about it, but that's just something that says something about him, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Erica and I were talking about that, how that he looked, or they all looked really comfortable with one
They
another.
did.
Like
And it
they
was-
were all accepting.
And it was nice to see that because there was a while with Jionni, like I think they were all, well, especially, I think a lot of the animosity, a lot of the issues stemmed from Mike.
yeah,
A lot of
agree
it
with
did.
that.
So with him out of the picture, it just seems things seem to just flow a lot better within the group.
And I wonder if that was a conversation. Like, I'm cool, like Jionni being like, I'm cool with you being friends with everyone, but Mike's crossed the line too many times. He's out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she has to make a choice, maybe.
I mean, he wasn't a part of the show at all because there were numerous scenes in this series and in this season and in the last season where there was, you know, definitely some people from Jersey Shore, and Mike wasn't one of them ever.
And also, if I remember correctly, Jwoww and Sammy got into a fight.
Oh, huge
Jersey
fight.
Shore, like
Huge
fist fight. So
Yeah.
for her to be there two, it's like water's under the bridge for a lot of stuff except the Mike situation.
Yep. Yeah, because the girls, like you mentioned this,
No
Kelly,
pun
too. The
intended.
girls had some major issues.
They did.
And I think at the end they realized, I think it was the whole situation, not Mike the situation, but the whole unique scenario that they're in Jersey Shore. I think they looked at it from like a bigger perspective of like, you know what, we're part of this unique thing together. Let's just,
Right.
like you
Yeah.
said, water under the bridge. Like, and it's cool. They matured and like formed
Got
that bond.
older, yeah.
You know?
I think the problem with Mike, as we all know, was Snooki was lying, and she couldn't handle Mike basically telling the truth.
Yeah.
So of course you
Right.
want to separate
Yeah.
yourself from that. I don't want that around because she's done other things that I'm sure we don't know that Mike may know.
Knows, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't risk that now with a kid and an engagement, and he just comes out of the blue like, yeah, so Snooki did this. Like, I wouldn't want that either.
And
so.
you think that between the Mike, because this was something that we never knew, like we never ultimately found out, between Mike and Snooki, do you think Mike was lying or Snooki was lying?
Oh, I think Snooki was lying.
Snooki.
So do I.
Yeah.
I agree.
She even stopped talking about it. She
Just even in that
Yeah.
first interaction, you can remember her being like, there wasn't like that didn't happen. It was like, why'd you say that?
Yeah.
That's
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
She was
Like-
saying,
Yeah.
why'd you say it?
Yeah.
It was like you could see it in her face.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I imagined too. She's
was
thinking,
like-
we talked about this. This was never
Yeah.
supposed to
Like,
air.
holy shit, I can't believe you really
Yeah.
signed
And
that
that's
with
what she's
everybody.
mad about is that trust. That trust that they had together, not like him lying about the situation. And you could tell too in the way they were fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
So now she doesn't, trust that he won't say, I did this another time.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
no, I would definitely cut him out of it, too.
I would too.
Right.
I would too. But it's
There's a lot
kind
on the line.
It's all about the Snooki, the Snooki show. It's when it comes to Snooki, it's all about her, like in everything, you know.
True.
I think Jwoww too. They're a little bit not selfish, but like self-absorbed.
Absorbed, yeah.
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 For sure.
So that pretty much rounds out the whole season, guys. I think we deserve to do, the show deserves one more last toast.
I'm okay with that.
All right? Yay!
Yay!
Go Snooki and Jwoww. Woohoo!
Snooki, wow.
Yeah, there we go. So, I have a question.
love
Would
champagne.
usually we know by now if the season was renewed?
No.
No, just air the finale.
So okay.
Well, it just depends on a lot of shows. Like they will kind of already,
Right, yeah.
decide.
Season
But
production.
this one,
I wonder if it depends on the weddings and stuff.
I think it depends on what their life
Because what else are they
situation.
really gonna show?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they are
So
going
predictions,
to...
guys.
Before we go to predictions, let's do news.
Okay,
Yeah.
real quick.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Snooki and Jionni got married.
No, they didn't.
What?
You're such a liar.
They eloped yesterday.
No,
April
that was April
Fools.
Fools.
I know. Then I was gonna say
There's
April
no
Fool's.
way.
Steph beat me to it.
Sorry, I'm like, wait a minute.
It was just a tweet. Snooki, she tweeted a gown and a tiara that her and Jionni had had eloped, and then she ended up saying it was an April Fool's joke.
That's fine.
That's funny. That's a good one.
I do have that Jwoww apparently today filmed on One Life to Live. She was
Really?
doing a little acting, yeah, and apparently she was having a problem remembering her lines. So her crew and Roger were helping her memorize stuff.
Oh.
But she's been tweeting some pictures that I didn't send in on set, and she was there, I believe, yesterday and today.
Cool.
So was she very toned down than what we
Yeah, her
normally
look. What
see?
does she look like?
No, she was playing a bartender that slept with her boss.
Oh.
So she said it was like a good role for her.
Yeah, I would think she said that.
It literally, that was like, she was like, yeah, this should be easy. So,
It's perfect.
Yeah, as long as they let her keep the
Typecasting.
boobs out, she's fine.
so
All right, predictions. Is there going to be a season 3 or no?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So I'm thinking that there will not be a season 3, only because, like we just said, what are they going to talk about? But I do think that it will come back for like a wedding special. All right, that's what I'm thinking.
Totally, I agree.
I
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
We all, wow. We,
yeah, I think
But like, not only just the wedding, it'll be the whole like shopping for bridesmaid dresses, picking up the floral things. Like it'll be like a 2-hour
Yeah.
special.
Like a
also,
whole
this is
special.
not, This is not the last that we're gonna see of Snooki. She's gonna
definitely.
do another show. I guarantee. It might not be this Snooki and Jwoww, but I see her doing something, whether it's like hosting something on being a mom or doing something like that. This is not the last we're gonna see of Snooki.
Right. They could actually continue this show, but have a completely different
concept.
Right. Like have it be kind of like a talk show where they're there talking to other people, like completely just change it up. But especially since they were like co-hosting on Anderson Cooper and like they've been doing some stuff like that. So I mean, wonder, curious.
I feel like that would be a good thing for them to be hosting something together or to like co-host with another bigger person. They are over at AOL all the time and we just have them on the couch and just let them do their thing and they have so much fun. It's so interesting. Fans, you know, tweet in, ask them questions, and it's a good energy with the two of them together.
I think that's almost better than the separate of like their life because it's like Snooki's, you know.
I think Snooki could hold her own. I don't think Jenni could.
Exactly.
But I do think the two of them together are a good
It's
dynamic.
gonna be a good dynamic for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We'll see if Jwoww gets fired.
Oh, no.
I think they'll hire a
Good way to
stylist.
end.
All right, guys. So where can we find everyone?
You can find me at I am Stef Z, Stef with an F.
And before we finish, tell everyone out there what other shows you're doing, so if people want to continue to follow you. Or
Oh yeah,
do other
you
shows.
can find me on the Fashion Star after show. And our next show this Sunday, we're gonna have a special guest.
Well, you can find me on Twitter. I haven't picked up another show yet, but I am
Because you
looking.
didn't want to do Splash.
Oh, I am Kelli Taylor, and that's Kelly with an I on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at Annika_Michelle or AnnikaMichelle.com, and I'm doing Carrie Diaries, which is ending next week, so I don't know what's going on after that, though.
Ooh. And I'm your host, Erika Vieira, and you can find me also on Fashion Star with Stef Z, where we are able to talk about our industry. We both have clothing lines. And you can also find me on Mob Wives on Thursday at 7 o'clock Pacific time. That's a great show. Great show. Like, if any of you have not watched Mob Wives, great reality show. And you can find me on Twitter, Erika Vieira LA. You can also check out my clothing line at rallybabe.com.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Thanks for everyone listening.
Yeah,
Thank you guys
So
for coming on this
sad.
journey with
Love you, mean it.
us.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
See you later, bitches!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.